YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of MLB 16, the show, Kansas City Royals franchise, and this is, excuse me, the Royal Court Insider. This is episode 25, and we are getting ready here to wrap up the postseason as the world champions, the new world champions here in this series, of course, is the Kansas City Royals. The Royals did it again here in the 2015 season. Now, of course, in real life in 2015, they did win the World Series, and they came up short in 2014. But you know, we've seen that they won that one. So we kind of, I don't know. I guess we kind of rewrote history here, having them a two-time winner, two back-to-back champions here in this series. But right now, we're just taking a look at the World Series, and for the most part here, it was a pretty difficult series. It was a little challenging a lot of times, and I guess I should go say difficult. What I mean by difficult, it was actually a fun kind of difficult. Maybe really, had the team, got me thinking about how the team is going to be, going to have to play because throughout the regular season, and we had our ups and downs. We were just playing we were playing very, very well. And then, especially when the postseason started, we just blew right past the Blue Jays there in the divisional round. And then we got to the championship round against the Angels. It started getting a little more challenging. And then, of course, then San Diego, a team that we thought we could win, the games, have a sweep of the series there. They were pretty good. I mean, they were an excellent team there, especially in Game 4, where they won the game there and almost had a perfect game put on us. Well, then we were able to have that broken there because of the hit that Dozier had, which broke that up. And of course we had a couple errors there, so it can be can do a no hitter, and then we were able to, of course, got our final hit or get that one hit that we had to do so with Ian Kennedy, who really did not do much in the postseason at all for San Diego, and just really tore it up there in that game there. And it got me, got the team thinking that there might be a problem there. There might be an issue that the team needs to focus in on, and they did so there in Game 5, which wasn't a dramatic change, but it was a change that we needed there in that game. Right now, you guys look at the Game 3 stats there, so I am a little ahead of myself here, but just kind of giving just a generalization of what we had for this team this season. Honestly, it was a great season. Had a lot of fun, and of course, we like to, we was hoping that we was going to take the first two games there in Kansas City. Ended up splitting the series there in Kansas City for games 1 and 2, and then came back in Game 3. Lost in Game 4, which almost was just seriously, it was about to be a perfect game put on us, as we were able to scrape up one hit there in the last frame of the ball game. And then of course, the last two games, of course, Game 5 was played in San Diego, and we were able to win that one, and a very good one there at that. So very impressive there with that game. You see there, Game 4, 4-0 there, as you see on your screen right there. Like I said, that's probably one of the most difficult games that we had, because we just could not hit off of Ian Kennedy, and a guy that had no postseason work at all that postseason, and had a really abysmal season. Because for the most part, I think he was 8-12 for the season in that, and he was gone for most of the season there because of injury. So for him to do that for the Padres there and do it well. I was very impressed there with him, and we'll have to see what our ball club will be able, was able to do there in games 5 and 6, where we were able to just pretty much take over in that game and do what we wanted there. As you see there, 3-1 or excuse me, 2-1 there in that game there. So not many as hits that we had in that first or in the previous games, but just enough there to get us there in that one. I believe Hosmer got hit in that game also, and it is, you could tell there was a little tension between the two clubs there, but like I said, we was able to survive in that one, and we did so pretty well there. So we'll see if that will continue on here as we go ahead and get into more for next season there, because there will be some changes there for our team, and we'll get into those here in just a bit. But take a look at we're about to look at game 6 here, which we won it there back in Kansas City, and I think I said this in the other video, but the guys were sitting there talking like, hey, we're going to change, we're going to win this game. We don't want to go to game 7 because for a while there it looked like San Diego was going to be able to come back in this one. As you see, they made that last run there in the 9th inning and tied the ball game up, and kind of was just sitting there thinking, like, okay, here we go. Just like in the I believe it was game 2 there in Kansas City, where they did the same exact thing when we pretty much thought they was going to have the same thing. Well, then we're able to get a key hit there from a long time, well, not a long time, but he's been there for quite a few years now, veteran Omar Fonte. He was able to find his first pitch in the first, or the I think it was his 5th or 6th at bat there in the game, and found his pitch there in that bottom half of the 11th there, and able to hit one right out of the ballpark, and that was pretty much game winner there for us. So we were happy that that happened, and we were able to move on. And now we're just gonna try to see if we can now try to rebuild, maybe even reload some of these guys here with signings. As we'll take a look here at the postseason awards here, and there you see our Zubris there, your playoff MVP, and your World Series MVP. Shockingly enough, is Lorenzo Cain there. So Cain, one of the guys that are kind of sitting on the line there, possibly maybe not being re-signed with us next season. Got to make some tough decisions, and we'll get to those here a little later on in this video, because in this video, you guys will see us do some off-season here, and we'll get into more of that here as we go along here. But there you see Zubris, your playoff, or I should say your AL playoff MVP. And then take a look at some of the awards here. Of course, King Felix had a great year with us. First year here with the Royals, 22-5 with a 2.25 or 3.5 ERA. Zubris again also having a awesome season there, as he had the batting title there, representing us. And then you can see some other awards there going to other places, like JJ Hoover getting the reliever of the year. There you see our rookie of the year, 16-6, 2.37 ERA, 229 strikeouts there from Brendan Shipley. He is definitely a guy that I really feel like he is going to be something very special, somebody that we can really build a rotation around here. Even though we do have King Felix there for another couple of years, I think he has 3 years left with the contract that we picked up from Seattle. It's going to be really nice to have that young guy like Shipley to also help build around there, because we got some really good prospects coming up here through our farm system here, and if we just do a better job in finding guys for us in the draft, and then and just free agency there, I think our bullpen is getting stronger. I know our the team that I can't remember if it was our AA or our AAA team that we were featuring here for a while there, won their title there. I think it was a AA. I think they won the Texas League title there. They did a great job there, and we got some pretty good talent there that I'm hoping that we'll feature here a little more here on the series with And of course, that being said here, I know a lot of people are asking, is this series going to return or continue here? And on that, I have to say, I would like to, I want to continue this series, and the series may be more going faster than we have before in the past with this series, because along with this series, I also have the St. Louis Cardinals series. So we'll try to go a little bit more faster and get through this a little bit more. But I do have a little bit of a timetable or a way of how we're going to do things here coming up in the future, because I do want to continue this series a little bit more. We may not showcase so many games. We may only show you guys or play so many games per month, and then just show you guys kind of a monthly wrap-up video. Maybe show a couple, maybe 2 to 3 series, and 2 or 3 episodes. Show a series or 2, and then show a wrap-up video of the month of what we did, what you guys missed out, and all that kind of stuff on. So that's something we're gonna be looking at here at some point here for this series, and the same thing for the other series. Just take a look here at the NL MVPs there. Of course, Steven Strasburg there, 23-6 there for him, 272 strikeouts with a 2.52 ERA. But yeah, I mean, for the most part here, I really enjoyed playing this series here. And I like this just with the team that we've got now, and some of the guys that we drafted this past season. I really do want to stay up and keep this series alive here on the channel. But yeah, it should be coming up here very soon, and we'll like I said, we'll have a bit of a hiatus for this series, but we'll try to bring it back here, because like I said, with the draft picks that we got here, and we're just starting out with this, and of course we can do year-to-year saves. So like I said, that's why I kind of want to just kind of flash forward through some of this once we get the season restarted again, and get really into it by fast forward stuff. I know with the new what is it? Just the situational type of things, critical conditions, or critical situations like that they call it here. I think that's what it's called. We're gonna try to do more of those with this series, and also with the Cardinals series too. But going back to this series here, like I said, it's been a lot of fun here. This postseason really got me going, and got me a lot thinking about making some moves here. I know besides the pitching, our starting pitching has been great, and hopefully we can keep it a lot intact. Most of the start pitching, which we should, because I think the only guys we would have to worry about re-signing is, I believe, Shipley and Butler there. I'm not sure what their contracts will look like, but we'll try to, if they are going to be, I think they're up for renewal. I know a couple of position players are up for renewal, and we'll get to that. But there you see the Royals, 2 retirees there. You got Jeremy Guthrie, who had a, and that's the thing, he pitched, he came in that last game there, game 6, and pitched a hell of a game there. And why not take a bow here and go ahead and retire there? As we didn't, and I kind of feel bad. I think I said that in the video there. I kind of feel bad that throughout the whole season, he only got a couple of starts there. Spot starts when we needed a guy to get a day off or whatever. He comes in here, and we didn't, I was considering using him in the postseason, but I was like, no. I was like, if we do, he'll be coming out of the bullpen there, and that's what he did in that game 6, where he came out of the bullpen and did what he did. John Lackey, another guy there that we picked up during free agency because Jason Vargas got hurt, and we brought him in, and now he's going to retire. So thank you to both of those men for their service with our ball club. Take a look here, David Ortiz. He's going to retire here as we take a look at some of the others. A former Royal there, David DeJesus. He's also going to retire there. You see his attributes in there. Of course, he's going to retire because of age. I didn't realize that he was that old. He is 36 years of age. So he's been in the baseball scene for quite some time. Jose Bautista, surprisingly enough, is also retiring at age 35 there. So he must. And I can't believe that. I mean, I guess in baseball years that's pretty old. Because a lot of these guys have been playing baseball since Little League and whatnot. Because I'm 35 and I'm looking at these guys. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I can't believe they're that old. They're that at that age. They're retiring. So Jose Bautista's gone. R.A. Dickey there, 41, the knuckleballer there. He's gonna retire. And there you see 10 years there for him. And of course, had a good couple of years there with Toronto there. Alexi Ramirez. Now, this is one person I'm kind of glad of seeing retiring here in this game, because he was a pain in the butt for us when we played the White Sox there. I could just never get him out with the speed and his ability as base stealing there. So it's glad to see he's going to be gone there. We don't have to worry about him. Ryan Rayburn, right fielder there for the Indians. He's also retiring because of age, 34 years of age. Excuse me, 8 years in the majors there, and he's gonna take a about Rajay Davis. There you see him, a Tiger there. So I'm kind of noticing here there's a lot of guys retiring from our division, so that's gonna really shake things up, and it's gonna make it very interesting coming up in the postseason. Of what of the regular season for next year, and of course, getting ready for next season. Joe Nathan, the closer there for the Tigers there, he is going to retire. I think we got a few more here that we're about to see who's going to else retire here. Willie Bloomquist, yeah, he's also a former Royal there. Now, of course, he played his last couple of years there with Seattle. I believe he's with the Yankees at one point there, and a couple other teams. But there you see he retires there. Great utility player there. He will be missed on that team. And then, of course, another Seattle Mariner there, Fernando Rodney there. Guy that I was actually really considering looking at here. I know he was on the trading block during the trade deadline there, and I was really considering making a push for him. I think I've been the second trade I think we made with Seattle since we made that trade with them with Felix there. And then Chad Qualls there, he'll going to retire there at age 37, 11 years in the majors from the great state of California. And I think, what else do we have? I think we have, Dan Uggla. He's going to be there. He is going to retire there with the Braves. And like I said, just some pretty good, some decent names out there that are going to retire. Some of the guys I'm like thinking like, come on, can at least play another year. Can I, at least sign you? Because I like to sign some older guys there to help out with the ball club. We need to see that good mix of veteran and young talent on the field. Bartolo Colon, the old timer there, 42 years of age. He is going to finally retire there. Nice job as he is done with his career with the Mets there. So long to Bartolo Colon. Marlon Byrd, another guy, a long-time Philly, and now it's going to be retiring here. There you see his numbers and his attributes here for this season. A lot of them going down there. So a lot of these guys going down, of course, some of them, of course, of age, and then just playing ability there. So, and a lot of these teams can't really afford guys like Cliff Lee like that, or even I believe we'll see Utley here, Chase Utley, going to retire, I believe, also too. So, just contracts and all that kind of stuff. It gets really expensive after a while. Trying to sign a lot of these guys, you're trying to hold on to or try to get, especially if you're trying to hold on to them because you got young talent that's just not ready to be brought up just yet. Skip Schumacher there. You see his attributes there. I didn't realize he was that. He was at 36 years of age. I thought he was younger than that. I thought he was around his late 20s, early 30s. But no, he's in his mid 30s there. So, but yeah, I couldn't believe when I seen that. I'm like, oh, I know this roster's about at least 2 or 3 years old. So, you know, a lot of these guys are still playing in real life, but you know. It was kind of interesting there. Kyle Loesch, there you see a longtime Brewer. He is going to retire, and take a look at his attributes there. But yeah, we only had 2 Royals there. Of course, you know, Jeremy wasn't going to be able to, you know, show up now, you know, return this season. It's just, to me, it was not worth it. Put him on the field here. You know, we put Guthrie out there for some spot starts, like I said before. But you know, for the most part here, we were just trying to, you know, get through the season. And it was already kind of explained to him that, you know, his role, what his role was going to be this year, and the chances of him being re-signed, you know, were not in his favor. So. And you know, we would have wished him best of luck if, you know, anywhere else, if he was going to return you know, going somewhere else for next season, but you know, to play. But that was not the case for us. We're going to move on now. We got those 2 young guys, and plus we got you know, at least in this version, we got Aaron Brooks still in our ball club. We're going to have him come up next season, work with him, and try to get him MLB ready full time. You know, he had a couple starts here and there during the stretch there. There in when we brought up some September call-ups, and yeah, we definitely bring him up and get him going and get him active. There you see Joaquin Benoit, of course, the man that gave up the home run there. He is going to officially retire, and he's going to retire with the Padres there. So. And he had a really good game there. He was in a game there for, I think, honestly, I think he was there too long. I was really surprised that the Padres left him out there. But hey, you know, we're not going to complain about it. You know, you can stay out as long as you want, just as long as you give us something sweet to hit, and that's exactly what happened. All right, so take a look at some of the free agents right now for the Royals. As you take a look here, Alex Gordon, one of the top guys there. And like I said, we're going to try to re-sign him. Kevin Herrera, Mike Moustakas, Danny Duffy, and Hosmer. All those guys are we're looking at to possibly re-sign here. As we take a look here, and we're going to start with the re-signing purpose here as Alex Gordon here. Looking at him, he's looking for somewhere around 11-2 a year. And for the most part, we are going to try to splurge here, but we're also going to try to be a little conservative when it comes to certain things, signing guys. So certain guys are going to get signed, going to get what they want. Other guys here, they're going to get what they want, but we're also going to try to you know, put them in some different role here, try to maybe reduce the role. And for Gordon here, you know, he's 32. We're going ahead and just try to get him to a 3-year contract. That would put him around somewhere around 35, 36 years of age when that contract is up. And you know, that's that tricky age there. You know, you don't know exactly, you know, depending on what he's like here in the next 3 years. If his numbers start declining, we'll try to you know, get out of that contract. Of course, you know, in the last year that he has left, that final year there, we'll try to move him if we can, try to put him with the team maybe they can contend. But you know, especially if his numbers are going down, you know, you know, we're gonna try to see if we especially have somebody behind him, which we are working on that. We're gonna be looking at some guys in the upcoming next draft coming up, well, for outfielders, because we're in desperate need for some outfielders. Kevin Herrera there, you see 26 years of age, great relief pitcher here, and he's a righty. We're going to try to keep him with the ball club here, so we're going to go ahead and get him. Now he wants a closer position here, but we're going to try to talk to him about being a bullpen position here. I know that's not what he was wanting, but we're going to try to see if we can offer him just a little bit more money, maybe, to take that bullpen position, the same position that he had before. And then, we'll pretty much, just talking to him, we pretty much say that depending on how the season goes and how well, or how, I shouldn't say how well, but how, if Holiday gets too many, I was just say Holiday gets too many, blown saves and all that kind of stuff, then there'll be a good chance that we'll put him in that closing role. We'll put in Herrera in that position. Mike Stock is one of our guys here, one of our young guys that we've developed through our farm system. 27 years of age. He wants about $9 million a year. So we're gonna be looking in here, and I think with him being 27 years old, I think we signed him to a good contract. I think 5 years would be good enough. That would put him somewhere around in his 32, 33 years of age. So that put him right there in his prime. I think right now I think he's in his prime right now, especially the way he was hitting there towards the second half of the season and really getting close to the playoffs, and then did really well there in the Blue Jays series, but then kind of just started to fade away there, going on to the Angels, and of course the World Series there just faded away, and kind of just that really kind of hurt us there with his bat not really coming alive too often there. Samuel Rosario, again, another bullpen guy who really stepped up this year. It was a shame that we had to pull him out of that game, game 6 there, because he was pitching very well. Unfortunately, and it wasn't his fault. It was pretty much what we left Felix out there too long. But we put him in a tough situation there, and we were just trying to see what he could do. And for the most part, he handled it pretty well. But he did get the win. Or no, he didn't get the win. He got the hold. But, he did a great job there for us throughout the postseason there, especially in the series with the Blue Jays there. So, again, we're going to see how we can re-sign with him. We decided to give him a option here, and it looks like, I believe it's both an option there, so it's not, it's depending on what our situation is. If we are in a situation that we think we can get some good value out of him and get a player that it's on the same level as him, or a little bit better, or some kind of prospect there that we have our eye on. We'll put that as a an option there for both sides, especially if he wants to get out and go somewhere else if we're not really competing on the level that he is accustomed to. So James Yu, there you see one of our minor leagues there, and of course the minor leaguers, they're going to get those simple 1 to 2 year deals. Deals they can really negotiate with. We can just we can negotiate after, and if they don't want to go through arbitration, which, as far as I know, I think everybody, I think last year we had a couple of times we had an issue with the arbitration, but it went through pretty easily. I think we had 2 or 3 players that maybe we had to go through arbitration. And it was pretty simple, pretty easy, with no issues, like back and forth bickering about what they're worth and whatnot. But Wu's one of those guys there, one of those role players there in the minor leagues that we're hoping that he will be able to get ready and be prepared there, leave Omaha and head up to the major league roster there here in the next year or two. So. There you see his numbers there for his season this year, or for this past season, and not the best numbers there, but he is definitely one of those. At least talking to a lot of the coaches down there in the minor leagues, there, he is a guy that got his head on right, and he's a team leader, and really helps out with the younger players down there with their game. Danny Duffy, what can we say about Danny Duffy, man? He had a great year here, especially there towards the very end of the season there. He was just, I mean, he was doing better in strikeouts, and I think ERAs are better than King Felix was there. But Danny Duffy, 20 games, he was 20-7 for the season. He's 27 years of age, so he's still a young guy here. There was a couple of games there we came very close to having a no-hitter with him. And yeah, just came up short there. But we're gonna go ahead and decide. I think we need to keep him because he's a hot commodity right now. So we're gonna try to keep Danny there with us and with the ball club here. As you take a look there, just trying to see where we can get him to navigate at, and just try to see if we can get him a deal that both sides feel comfortable with. And so we can bring him back next year. Of course, we would love to have him as the ace because of the way he was pitching this year, but don't want to ruffle too many feathers here. So he is going to be part of the rotation there. I believe I'm dead set right now that he will be our day 2 guy, regardless of who comes in. If we bring somebody from the, bring somebody up, or we get somebody from free agency, depending on what free agency looks like. And right now, free agency doesn't look too promising, but we'll try to. He definitely will be our day 2 starter. You see Shipley, he got re-signed there to a contract. Lewis Coleman, he's going to get re-signed as a reliever in the bullpen. There's a good opportunity here for him next season to come in, as we are. We'll need some help there in the bullpen situation on the major league level. So there's a good opportunity here that he'll be a guy that we can come in as our middle reliever and do some work there. Because we are in the looks of right now possibly not re-signing Wade Davis. Wade Davis is, I don't know, I guess in my head, I guess he's asking for too much for what he is wanting. But yeah, we're going to see about that, about some re-signing him. Gerard Dyson, guy here for the outfield, is definitely a guy that we're going to we want for next season. He is going to be our everyday center fielder. We've already made that clear because we are not re-signing Kane. Even though Kane was our World Series MVP, we're going to go ahead and let him test the waters there in free agency and see what he can find. And if he can't find anything, then there's a good, we'll bring him back and he'll play. He'll be the platoon player. He'll be the guy that'll be backing up Dyson when Dyson needs a day off and whatnot there, or possibly maybe a guy that will be a player that we can use in certain batting situation, if against the lefties or righties, stuff like that. So that's something we're looking into. If we can't find a decent backup, we could, like I said, we could bring Kane back, but he won't be at a capacity that we had him like this past season. Butler, you see his numbers there, and again, like I said, where he's going to be more of a depth type of guy. Rotation, I don't know, but I think if you look at his numbers there, well, which I thought he was going to have up longer, but he's a depth guy. I think we'll try to see what we can bring to him, because I think he could easily be a number 5. He could be a day 5 star, which is proven that he's done that very well. He's 17-7, and I'm not going to hold that game that he had, in that game that he lost there, because that was not his fault. He didn't have the run support. He was pitching pretty much a good game there. I think he gave up 1 home run, which is it's feasible, but with the way we've been batting and stuff like that, I really thought that game was really lost because of our just incapability of getting any hits. So I'm not gonna hold that against him, and so we're gonna re-sign him. Pena, the catcher there, not a decent backup catcher, but we do need to have at least another catcher there on the squad here for us. That is, outfielders and catchers are something that we are going to be looking at to possibly working with for next season in the draft or even in free agency. There, we're going to try to look around here to see if we can find, especially if we can find some veteran catching, which I do have my eye on a couple of people as we go ahead and once we get to the free agency period here. There are a couple of free agent catchers there that I'm looking at possibly bringing, maybe even Mike Napoli. Yeah, a guy that he has been on our defensively. He has been, or with his bat, I should say, defensively been really tough for us. But I think offensively it'll be a really great improvement there for us because he is a free agent this season. And like I said, we're just trying to find some of those younger or those up. I mean, we're going to still be working on trying to bring up guys, but also too, if there's a decent guy that's a veteran that can help us out, and especially with Napoli and Salvi there in the lineup, especially if we have them both in the lineup, I think that'd be really great there. And we could put him in a situation where he only bats on certain days, or plays, plays on certain days, not every single day. So he wouldn't be an everyday catcher. Be a catcher that we would just work with on occasion. Certain matchups and stuff like that. So right now we're just taking a look here at Brett Hayes here and his possible signing here. Minor leaguer contract there, catcher, 32 years of age, and of course. Not the biggest impact for us there for the Naturals, but he is only a young guy here, and he's been working hard down there. Helped win the World Texas League Championship there, and we're gonna try to see what we can get him come back. Jorge Bonifacio, a guy that's been just nipping at the heels here. He's had a great year down there with the Chasers. As we take a look here and see that Rosario, he is going to take our 4-year deal, $24.4 million for 4 years. We'll go ahead and see the rest of the signs here. James Wu also accepts his contract there, so he has a 2-year deal, about $8.4 million. We'll see that the Royals now have Herrera there, so $17.7 million. Mike Moustakas, $27 million over 3 years there for him. So our guy is looking pretty good here. And then Brett Hayes there, he's also signed with us, and Dyson has signed with us, along with Coleman. We have any other names here? So Adams is re-signed with us. So for the most part here, we got quite a few guys signed with us. Of course, the big names. Hosmer will not be in that list there. I thought he was, but I'm just now looking at my notes here. Hosmer was not on that list of people getting re-signed. Now, coaches here, we have been thinking about it here. We were thinking about getting, and I know a good friend of mine who follows the series here on the channel, he's a big Rusty Kuntz fan, and yeah, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to pull the trigger and let Rusty go. He only has a year left on his contract as the first base coach, but we need some, as you see all the negatives there from Rusty, we need some positives here. So we need to find a decent coach here, and John East seems like a good guy there. Just take a look at his numbers there. We're going to go ahead and offer him a contract here, see what he says. And it's going to take some time there. They negotiate there. We'll see what he is going to say. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to see about possibly trying to bring him on board. But that's what his contract looks like here, and what we need for the team, because we need some more positives here to help this ball club out as we go and go forward here with this ball club, especially if we want to be a team that can come back, go and try to win the World Series for a 3rd time in a row. It's going to be a lot of hard work here going into that, and trying to find all the right pieces here. But going into the next season here, I feel really positive because, like I said, we don't have to re-sign too many guys here. They're usually definitely there, and a lot of the guys that we are re-signing right now, we're signing 3 to 5 year contracts because they're young enough. We have the cash for right now to do so, and we might as well hit the iron and hit the iron hot, as they say there. Strike when the iron's hot, and do it now instead of waiting on down the road here. So, but there's gonna be a lot of hiccups and bumps in the road there, and that's something we're gonna just kind of have to deal with as we do go along here in the series. But then I started thinking here as we re-signing guys, and I'm like, you know what, Wade Davis is not actually asking for too much cash here. And I realized he was actually younger than what I thought he was. I thought he was around his mid-30s. He's actually just gotten to his 30s. He's 30 years of age. He's been in the league for 6 years here. And I'm like, you know what? This is a reliever that we just cannot say, okay, we're just going to toss him off to the side and have other, teams pick him up afterwards. So we'll say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and we'll put him as his role will be a depth in the bullpen. He's a guy that's going to help us out here and get us, between, he's our in-between guy. He's going to be there on the mound day in and day out. He's going to be our guy. He's going to put us the gap between our starters and closer. So we do so, and we'll go ahead and he will accept our contract there. So we have Wade Davis now back on the side. And then you see Alex. Yeah, Alex Gordon now has re-signed with us. So that's the biggest signing right there for us. We're glad to see that. And we're hoping that Alex will be satisfied with it, which he obviously is, because he, did resign there. So we'll see if that will go ahead and make everybody stay there in KC. Having Alex Gordon back there, of course, one of our corner pieces there for our squad. Now, taking a look here as we getting close to wrap up this video. There you see some of the free agencies there. Got some pretty big names there. You got David Price, who is a guy I would love to get and go afterward for a possible, having him and King Felix. I mean, that would, throttle my my money, but that would be a good 1-2 opportunity for us to do something and to pick him up. But I think our wallet's saying no, screaming no, we can't do that. But we'll look and see. We'll see how much he's asking for, and there are some other names there that we're gonna be looking at, and we'll look into more of that into the next episode here of the Kansas City Royals franchise Royal Court. So stay tuned for episode 26 as we wrap up the postseason here. We wrap up the off-season stuff. We try to get some signings here of a couple players. We're not gonna sign too many guys, but we are gonna try to see if we can find some decent players to help us out, find some more missing pieces there for us coming up, and we'll see how everything goes here. So off-season video coming up, another one here on the Royal Court Insider. We'll see that coming up, and then of course we'll get ready. We'll go and show you guys what the new season will look like for us coming up with lineups and pitching rotations there. So stay tuned for that and more here on the Royals franchise Royal Court Insider. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Kansas City Royals franchise here on MLB 16, soon to be on MLB 17. We'll move that over just as well. So stay tuned for that. If you guys follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, also on Discord, check us out there. Links are down below in the description. And as always, you guys keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.